Hey everyone, it's me Miranda and I am back today to film my July coloring book haul. So as you can see, I did purchase quite a few coloring books for July. I have mentioned before that I like to do all of my holiday or seasonal coloring book purchases early, mainly so that I can color them when the time comes. So I do have a lot of Christmas and Halloween coloring books, but also because the closer it gets to the holidays, the less I like to spend on myself. So probably maybe for August, I don't know, maybe August and September I won't really have hauls for you guys as much as I will just like what I've colored videos. And I also have a few books that I want to do flip throughs for, so I'll be filming more of those during the holidays. But anyway, that is mainly what I purchased this month. So excuse my arm. I will just jump into showing you what I have purchased. So this is, I actually purchased quite a few art books. They had like a buy 2 or 3 and you got 2 or 3 free on bookoutlet.com. So I took advantage of that, and bookoutlet.com is just what it sounds like. It's an outlet, so everything's like cheaper than the list price. So anyway, I purchased some books off there, but I wanted to show you guys this one. This is Draw 500 Fabulous Flowers by Lisa Congdon, I think. And this is by Query Publishing. And I don't believe they have an ISBN. Oh, yep, here's the ISBN over here. So, but this book is really more of like an inspirational or doodling type book, but there are some images in here that you could color if you want. Some of them have already been colored in, but it's really just a whole bunch of different styles, different flowers that you can doodle or take inspiration from and try drawing yourself, or you can doodle in the book or on your own paper. I have actually started doodling right in the book myself. I just plan on using this kind of like as a sketchbook to practice some doodling and different styles of drawing that I might not have done before. I did these. These are probably one of my favorite flowers to sketch, but I like getting these books because, one, I like doodling and that kind of thing, but also I have been starting to play around with the background in my coloring pages more. As you guys know, I've been adding more watercolors, and especially in the Carla Magana books, I've been filling in or drawing in my own backgrounds. So I thought this would be really like a good idea of stuff to do for backgrounds, maybe some flowers and whatnot, because I love flowers, so why not? But that was just something that I wanted to show you guys, because I did purchase it and I just thought it was kind of neat and different. But now I'll get into showing you the actual coloring books. So the first book that I have to show you is the new Carla Magana book, which you guys should not be surprised that I bought because I'm coloring in the Tiki pinup coloring book all the time. I know that I have heard the title of this book pronounced, but every time I go to pronounce it, I pronounce it wrong. So I'm not going to pronounce it, but here is the title of the coloring book. And it is also known as Spooklets Volume 2. So I do have Spooklets Volume 1. I'll show you all these little clips, little index here. This is Carla Magana's website and her ISBN. Like I said, I do have Spooklets Volume 1, but I actually have it in a PDF. I bought it off her Etsy store, so I don't actually have a book. After coloring in the Tiki pinup coloring book, I have kept all my pages in that book, and I kind of like I don't know, there's pros and cons to having a hardcover book and a PDF. So a PDF you can print out at your leisure. You can print out multiple copies of a page. That's nice. But actually having a hard copy of a book is actually nice too, because then all your pages are in this nice cover. For coloring book, they're, I don't know. I just kind of like, I just wanted the hard copy for right now. And I absolutely love this book. I think this doesn't have to be a Halloween coloring book. Obviously this is her Spooklets, and it is about bats, so it does kind of give you a fall vibe, but we all know Carla and she just loves bats, so it doesn't have to be Halloween. And but I think for me, this book and We Wickeds are definitely going to probably rule my Instagram pages for Halloween season. I just can't wait to start coloring in this. I think the images are so cute, and Carla does have a full like digital flip on her channel of this book. So if you're interested in seeing that, I would go over there, because she does give you a little bit of information about the book and what she was going toward for when creating that book, which is interesting. And the next book that I have is Happy Halloween, Have Fun. This is Adult Coloring Book Series 1. I actually don't know if there's a Series 2. I haven't seen it yet, but I wanted to get this one because it was in my cart for a while. I think it just caught my eye and I was interested. But this is by Jacob Mason, and I don't know if there's publishing information on here. There's the ISBN. And then there's what the back looks like. And this is actually one of those books that has like the really nice soft velvety covers on it. So trying to find publishing information for you guys. So they have 25 pages of fun packed activities. I'm not sure what the activities are other than coloring, but I will read that more. Text and illustration by Jacob Mason, and I guess it was first published in 2017 by Jacob Mason, so published and illustrated by him. And then this is the coloring test page. This is pretty nice. It's a bit confusing to me because it has flowers on it, but this is a Halloween book, so whatever. But into the book we go. I actually really like this book. So you get some images that make up like a bigger image, so that looks like a pumpkin. Some kind of look more like a mandala or like a mirrored effect. Excuse me. Some are just more like repeating patterns. As you can see though, through like no matter what kind of page you're getting here, whether it be like the figured or the mandala-y or the printed, all of the little images that make up the page are kind of detailed here, but I don't mind that. I think that they're extremely cute. I really like this book, and I also like this book because even though you're getting different images, they're not all just these mandalas or figures or patterns, but also you could, if you wanted to, you could make these really simple and just go in with maybe some fine liners or pencils, or you could make it complex and really go in and do some shading and maybe color the background, maybe make the pumpkin stand out more, and these kind of look more like a mandala kind of filigree in or something, you know. So I really like these kinds of books. I'm gonna color in this, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna want volume 2 if I have it, because I really like coloring that kind of stuff. And then the next book that I have is Dainty Damsels, a Halloween coloring book. This is by J.N. Sheets. And that's her website there. That's the ISBN number. I don't think she tells you how many are in here, but there's a Facebook page as well. I do have 2 of her other books. I think I have The Spring and Fairies, and I kind of got them all back to back. I think I've showed the fairies and the spring ones on here before. If I didn't, I probably got them right before I started filming YouTube, but I did just purchase this one last month. So I really like her style. They're kind of like chibi girls. Some of them have more of a background like this one. Some of them have more of a border like that one. For me, the Halloween damsels remind me more of like Disney princesses, and some of them, like this one, you could make her into Ariel. This one kind of reminds me of Belle, especially with her dress, or Cinderella, because she has her masquerade. This one reminds me of Tinkerbell. But they have some cute other pictures in here, like the spiders in the cauldron. I really think that's cute. I think this will be because the images are so detailed, and just, you know, with chibi, they tend to be smaller details. So I might either go in here with some Crayola markers or fine liners if I do choose to use markers, but I might just stick to pencils on these pages just because they are so detailed. I feel like if I went in with some like thicker nibbed marker here, it definitely would bleed out onto some of the other areas, and then I'd have to fix it with pencil. But you can do whatever you want. And then also to note, in her books, she gives you this test page. So what you do is you scribble on this page with whatever you plan on using, and then she gives you a blotter page behind it, so that if it did go through, you would know that before you would try it on your page. Also, you could tear these out and just use these as blotter pages behind your images. But if you think something's gonna bleed through, you probably should be using a blotter page just to be safe, even if you test it and it doesn't go through on this page, just because if you go over it a couple times, or, you know, maybe color a bit more heavy-handedly in the actual image, it might go through more than just like a scribble, if you know what I mean. So that is that book. I'm really excited to color in this. I haven't, like I said, I've gotten a couple of her books and I love the imaging in them, but I haven't actually colored in them yet. They're a little bit daunting to me just because their images are so detailed, but it's of figures, so I know that for me to be happy, I would have to spend a lot more time on them, if that makes sense. Like, I love doing mandalas that are detailed, but with figures that are detailed, I'm like, So, the next book that I have is this Line Spots Dots Halloween. This is one color coloring book, so these are obviously the lines, and the dots and the spots that you can use one color to make up the image. You don't have to, though. You could use multiple, but I do have a couple other books that are line, spots, and dots, and I'll show you in a minute why I really like this one. So I did purchase this one because I do like doing line, spots, and dots, but this one is by Kira Shishneva, and I'm pretty sure that's how you say her name. I do not have any of her coloring books, but Kate's Coloring Haven, she loves Kira Shishneva's books, and she's always showing Kira's books on her channel. So if you do like this book, or you're interested in finding out more about that artist, you could either just Google her to see what other books she has, or you can look at Kate's Coloring Haven to see some of the books that she shows on her page. But these are one-sided images, And I really like these books because your dot, like all of the images, your dots, your lines, your spots, they are not tiny. So you can actually go in with a Crayola marker. You don't have to use a fine liner and really concentrate on not going outside of those lines. You can use a Crayola marker and do the lines and not be afraid of like having to concentrate with a fine liner so much. Like some of these spots, like some of the lines do get really thin in here, but compared to some of the other books out there with the lines and stuff, it's really like these are really user friendly, really coloring friendly. Especially like I've mentioned before, I am on a computer for 8 hours a day, so I don't want to strain my eyes that much after I'm done with work. I would like to give them a little bit of a break while I'm trying to hobby out. So that is the last Halloween coloring book that I have. Now on to the Christmas coloring books. So I did purchase another Kira book. This is the Line Spots and Dots Christmas one coloring book. And again, these, I just really like her books as far as what they're marketed as and what you're actually getting. A lot of the Line Spots and Dots are marketed and then you get them and they're just so tiny. So I just really think that these are just so, they're actually doable. They're actually relaxing for you. So I'm excited to start doing these. I've had a couple character ones, like I have The Office, I have like a character Line Spots Dots, and then I have a spiroglyphic one that is Disney, and I think that's the only ones of those that I have. So I'm really excited to get some holiday ones that I can work on. I haven't worked on those books for a while because I've been doing so much color by numbers. So the next book I have is The Colors of Christmas. This is relaxing, stress relieving, creative fun coloring book. Again, this one has a really velvety cover, and then it has the ISBN number on the back here. This book is, I think it's kind of like cartoony looking, but I also again like this book because you're getting a lot of different types of illustrations, I guess, like a different style on these different pages. So some of them are really busy, really just packed full, you know, jam-packed. Some of them give you a nice little cutout in them. Some of them are a bit more spaced out and you're getting just like a nice, like a wreath shape. There's not too many pattern pages in here though. They're just kind of like a jumble of images in the center that goes out, which I like. The one thing that I do know in this book, so like they give you, okay, like this page. So this one has like the skate, the mitten, the ornaments, the calendar, not necessarily that calendar, but if you start going through this book, you start to recognize a lot of the same images repeated, if that makes sense. So here we have the candles again, there we have the set of ornaments again. Here we have some ornaments, there's the candles, there's more ornaments, oh, mittens, I'm sorry. So if you start going through, you'll notice like, okay, here's a coffee cup or a hot cocoa cup, here's a skate, here's the calendar. They use quite a bit in these. Calendar, boots, candles. So you kind of get a lot of the same thing kind of repeated a little bit, like candle, mittens, you know, just that sort of thing, but the images aren't the same. They're different. So just in case that bothers you. And then some of them do come on this black backgrounded page, but all of the backs of the pages are white. And they all do have this nice border on them that keeps them from going directly into the spine. I haven't broken my spine clear, like fully open yet, but when I do, it'll lay flatter and you'll be able to get into this side a little bit easier. So that is that book. And then the next book that I have should be no surprise to anyone, just like the Carla Magana books. Ronnie Walter is another illustrator that I love. So this is the Coloring Cafe Colorful Christmas, a coloring book for grown-ups. And again, this is by Ronnie Walter. Here you're getting 36 pages. She does give you a little index kind of thing here. There's her website, the Coloring Cafe, and there's the ISBN number. And this one is not spiral bound like all the other books that I have, but I do not mind that at all. And just like all her other books, you're getting a nice image on the right hand side and then a little kind of snippet or little image on the left hand side. They all have nice borders around them, don't go into the spine. These aren't perforated. In her spiral bound books, she gives you a nice cutting guide if you choose to cut the pages out. You don't have that in this one, but again, that's fine with me. Just wanted to note that. And then at the bottom of every page, she has her copyright with her name, Ronnie Walter, on it. And yeah, I'm really excited to work in this book. I've been in a Halloween mood, but I just want to color this even though it's Christmas because I love her stuff. So I'm probably gonna do a flip through of that book on here because I have done a flip through of all her other coloring books, and they're one of my favorites. So the next book that I have is Gnome for the Holidays coloring book. This is by Deborah Muller, and I know this book has been out for a while, I'm pretty sure. That's her website. Deborah Muller has a ton of books, so if you like Deborah Muller stuff, there's a ton for you to choose from. There's the ISBN, and then I think this, well, and my copy was printed in July of 2021, but I'm pretty sure that this book has been around for a while. But it's just a whole bunch of gnomes during Christmas or doing Christmas activities. I really like Deborah Muller's style, and I really like gnomes, so this is perfect. And I didn't have any, I don't know if Deborah Muller really has Christmassy books. I know she has a bunch of fall and Halloween ones, but I now have a Deborah Muller holiday, like Christmas one. And then the last two that I have are actually by Tabitha L Barnett. So excuse me. If you've watched my past video, you'll know that I bought the Fall Broken Circles book by her, and I absolutely loved it. So Tabitha's books have been in my wish list for a while, but after I bought the Fall Broken Circles and I really liked the book, I decided to get these two. So this is Christmas Circles, Volume 1 and 2. So I'm probably going to do a full flip through of these books on here just so you can really see the difference in them. But you do get your color test sheet in the back with the black background and then with the white, just like in the other book. And then here you get some on black backgrounded pages. You do get broken circles. You do get kind of like a mandala themed, and then your white backgrounded pages up here. These ones are more mandala feeling. There's not too many broken circles in these books. There's some, but for the most part, they are this like mandala kind of circle in this book. And then volume 2, get your black backgrounded test sheet. You have a white one in this? Okay. Then you get your black backgrounded pages. All of your the backing of these pages are white though, for both books. And then again, more like mandala theme or feeling. I don't think this one gives you a white. Yeah, there's no, like in her other books, you get a white backed color test sheet, and this one you just get the black one, but that's okay. Again, these are just more mandala feeling than they are broken circles, but I really like them. I really enjoy her coloring book and her style. So, and I love the intro and this book belongs to like the title page. I love that. So again, I'm probably gonna do some flip throughs of these just so you can really see the difference between the two books. I think it was this one. I feel like this one you definitely get more of the black backed pages if you like those, but also I feel like this the images in this one were a little bit bigger, whereas in here the images were a little bit more tiny and a little bit more intricate to do. But again, I'll do a full flip of each and then give you more of like the breakdown of those if you're interested. So that is all of the coloring books that I have for you that I purchased in July. I am going to be starting another puzzle. It is the Halloween 1000 piece puzzle that I've previously shown. I think it was for June that I purchased it, but I did show you guys a puzzle that I bought, and I'm going to be completing that. And then during the holidays I get very crafty, so even if I don't have a haul for you guys these upcoming months, I will have a lot more videos because I feel like my crafting just becomes more of what I want to do. I get a little bit more energized as far as crafting goes when the weather's terrible. I actually want to do that kind of stuff, whereas, you know, right now the weather's nice. I go out a lot, even if it's just to families' houses or, you know, cookouts or whatever. So anyway, there will still be videos, don't worry, even if there's not hauls. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys have any of these books, and I will see you next time. Bye!